First of all, congratulations on this series. It is a fantastic watch. I'm hooked on it week to week. Your character, Dr. Jake Heller, is such a complex character in this intricate story. What is it like to embody this character?
Um, I mean, it's just been a great experience shooting. I mean, this whole process from casting to wrapping to getting started with a season two. Um, it's just been a great experience. I mean, it's a great cast, it's a great crew, it's a great set of writers and creatives, and it's just a lot of fun, you know. I definitely am nowhere near being a doctor,
Mhm.
so it's always fun to play something that is nowhere near what you do in real life. It makes it a little bit more interesting having to look up terminology every week, and then on top of that, dealing with these complicated relationships and professional and personal dynamics throughout each week. And on top of that, getting to learn a little bit about medicine every week. It's been it's been a great experience.
Your character is extremely human. He's extremely compassionate, very emotional, empathetic. What is it like? How do you begin to bring all this in and portray it week to week because your character continues to surprise me every single week.
Oh, well, that's great to hear. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think, you know, I would even get some of the episodes, especially towards the end, and be like, yeah, they're really making me out to be the good guy here with all
Mhm.
this stuff. And I think just like you said, he's very empathetic, and I think that's just one of the defining characters of Jake. And I imagine that that's probably why he got into medicine because he just had this need and desire to help people in need. And medicine is obviously a very tangible, direct way to help somebody immediately. And but you know, it's very interesting in the show. The writers have that empathy bleed over into other aspects, whether it help, you know, pay a single mom's electricity bill or helping out a
Mhm.
father's son. And I think it's just, I don't know, it's nice to see people being kind in the world. And you know, people I think enjoy that. And hopefully that's one of the reasons that people are responding to the show.
And you talked a little bit about learning a little bit of medicine along the way. Is
Yeah.
it difficult to get that terminology down and, figure out exactly what it is your character is doing?
You know, thankfully, we live in an age of YouTube. So, you know, on one hand, we have a medical consultant, and I don't know when they sleep. They're always on set and they're amazing. And the writers work with medical consultants. So, we definitely, and then obviously, we have YouTube and the internet. So, we have a lot of ways to research it. Um, but it definitely makes me realize I could never be a doctor for a number of reasons. Um, and also, especially at the beginning, I started researching stuff that would come out in the episodes, or I'd be watching documentaries about doctors and different medical fields. And I kind of had to stop because it makes you realize, on one hand, that the human body is very resilient, but also very fragile. And you start to become a bit of a hypochondriac when there's like all these, you realize how many things could go wrong with the human body. It's almost like I just like stop researching so much.
This cast is fantastic, and your character interacts with every single one of them. How thrilling is it to have a cast that's so talented and seems to give it their all every episode?
Um, yeah, I always say, you know, the first day on set is very intimidating, at least for me as an actor. And, you know, I probably didn't unpack my bags for the first couple episodes just because you know, I'm like, they might get rid of me. But on top of that, going in with like such great actors that I've seen in so many shows, you know, you know, for example, Molly was just such a fan of Deadwood and House of Cards and 6 Feet Under's my favorite show in the history of TV. So it makes it very intimidating to start working with them. But once you get past that, it's a great group of people and you can just learn so much because they've worked so much in so many great projects. And I think it also just helped going into the show that there was such a great cast and you just know that this is going to be, you know, we're doing something good that people are going to like here.
Definitely. You have your great career as well. You've had Spanish language TV. You've had now several series on English language. What made this project special for you?
Um, you know, It's a lot of it's Monday morning quarterbacking. You really, when you take on a show, you don't quite, you have an intuition based off what you've read. And I think the main thing for this show was one, knowing at the time when I auditioned for this, Molly was involved with this. And the showrunner and the head writer had been involved with some great projects. So that in and of itself makes it interesting, because you think, okay, this is going to be a good investment here. And I think reading it, I didn't have a lot of experience watching medical dramas, but just reading the first episode, it just seemed like such a unique premise, this show, that I really wanted to read the rest of the episodes because I didn't have access to it. But I think if you ever read an episode and you want to read more, that's a good sign as an actor that the audience is also going to like it, and also that it was based off one a true story, but more than that, a show that's been successful in another market. This one in Italy. And I think that's always a good sign that a story has been tested. You know, for example, I did Queen of the South, and it's a very successful book. And you're like, okay, there's something to this story that works, and that just gives you a little bit more optimism about the project.
I remember watching you in Queen of the South. This character is completely different.
Yeah.
What is it like for you as an actor to take on such contrasting roles?
Um, I mean, I think it makes it a lot of fun. Um, just because you get to research different things and different ways of life and different fields, whether it be, trafficking drugs or being a resident in internal medicine. It's also a little nerve-wracking because you're like, okay, well, if somebody believed that I was a drug trafficker on TV, how are they going to believe that I'm a doc? So it's just a little nerve, but that's that the kind of adrenaline of, am I going to be able to do it and people find it believable, is part of the fun, even though it's stressful at times.
Mhm. Did you watch the Italian series for Doc, or did you want to go into this blank slate and just give the director and the script what it deserves?
I think it was probably healthier to not watch it. That being said, I'm very curious and I wanted to watch it, but I didn't have access to it. Like, I tried to Google it, I tried to find it, and I couldn't find anything more than just some random scenes and some trailers online. And so by the time I kind of found an outlet to watch it, we'd already gotten started, and I was just like, I think it's better. I had heard that, there was a number of differences and
Mhm.
stuff, so I figured it was just healthier to not watch it, just because, like anything, they're going to change up the storyline. It's a different market, it's a different set of actors. And so that way I don't have in my head where I think the writers are going to take the story.
Definitely. And as of this last episode, it seems like your character is changing a bit. What can we expect for him during the rest of the first season?
During the rest of the first season,
Yes.
um, I mean, to the rest of the first season, it's besides dealing with the cases that are coming in, it's mainly just dealing with this dynamic with Amy,
Mhm.
dealing with the person that you love and you work next to and have been in a relationship for, 5 or 6 months, that they all of a sudden don't even know what your name is and how you deal with that. And in a way, it's kind of like a breakup, but at the same time, there's no finality to the situation because there's always that hope that maybe tomorrow they'll remember. Um, so it's mainly, Jake dealing with that, trying to take care of Amy's emotions, but at the same time, his emotions are pulling him towards her. So just dealing with that.
Definitely. Well, congratulations on this series. You're a phenomenal actor. You've done an amazing job in this series, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate you taking the time. You have a great day.
You too.